This is Rob, the Jonah Project. Thought after all these seemingly negative things, I'd come at you with something a little more positive. You know, since my whole idea of being able to help yourself doesn't mean that I didn't have outside help, didn't mean I didn't have other circumstances of help, but help that I could deal with, things I could trust. And some of the things I wrote came out of joy. They came out of understanding things that I didn't understand before I went through the hardships. Hardships are designed to help us get through other things. Possibly later in life, we'll really have hardships. And beyond that is to help others around us, our family, our friends, whoever needs it. They have a heartbeat, and that's been my approach forever. I don't care what you are. I don't care where you're from. I care less. If you got a heartbeat, I'll reach out and try to help. So that's where we're at. But joy. Joy is a good thing. Looking outside is a good thing. And what I have here is a song. I can't sing very well, so I won't, hurt your ears by singing it to you. But let me at least tell you about it and see if we can talk about it. It's called Live in Truth and Light. And in this song poem, I call them pongs. I don't know what they are, but when I hear words, I hear sound with it. So whenever I write something, it already has the sounds built into it. But I can't sing worth a darn, but I can hear it in my head. And it's called Live in Truth and Light. And I use something that I didn't know because I didn't go to school for doing this type of stuff. It's just what came out of me. It's just, was my desire. I don't know why. But what I do, live, truth, and light, are reflected throughout the three stanzas. I didn't know that this was a type of maybe a literary poetic element because I didn't do that. I did math and physics, so I don't know where this came from. Maybe it was from somewhere else. But it's what my heart felt. It's what I felt inside because I had so many things that helped and changed and brought about happiness, if you want to call it that. Anyway, here we go. It's the first stanza. And I'll go ahead and just read it all the way through and bring it down to the fourth stanza where it will talk about putting it all together. And that's the way life works, guys, gals, people, homebrews, homebros, all you folks. That's the way it works. I was very thankful because I was looking for having any kind of peace, a roof over my head, and things happened in a way that I ended up with far more than I could have ever thought possible. I want to live on the mountain. I want to live in the valley. Let me live in the love and know that peace surrounds me. Give me truth of the Master. Give me truth ever after. Let me give of my spirit and the truth that settles near it. The light is shining brightly, the light from Him Almighty. Let me shine in His Spirit and worship in His name. For all that is and shall be, for all that you would tell me, let me live in truth and light. Well, isn't that the whole idea of moving forward and moving to the concepts of the kingdom? Now, you have to understand, I have to give my disclaimer. This is how I deal with it. This is my understanding. It comes from actual reality over many, many years of experience, existential, internal, and in various and other places. This is what comes out of my soul, out of my thankfulness for what I understand. I want to live on the mountains. I want to live in the valley. It means I want to live in the breath. I want to live in the love and know that peace surrounds me. I want all that breath to be without bad stuff, without the horrors. So that's basically a statement of my desire for peace. Give me truth of the Master. Give me truth ever after. Let me give of my spirit and the truth that settles near it. And that's just a statement of, give me truth of something higher. Give me truth outside of me. Give me truth that is beyond truth and is wisdom. Because we throw the concept of truth all over the place. As a physics and engineering background person, to me, truth has to do with empirics. But we're dealing with the spirit because this is about truth and light in the spirit. So that means we get something from somewhere else. It's beyond our scope, but it settles near into us. The truth is shining brightly. No, the light's shining brightly. The light from Him Almighty. Let me worship in His Spirit and worship in His name. Well, I think that was part of the recommendation given to us. But to me, you have to understand, light is just information. It's energy. It's information. So it shines upon me. It infiltrates my being. And if I allow it in, open up my door, then it changes me. The fruit of the Spirit. It allows me to worship in His name. And from my understanding of name, it's not a name. It's in His authority. It's the authority. It's beyond you. It's beyond yourself. So for all that is and shall be, for all that you would tell me, let me live in truth and light. So I guess when you put all that together, it's what we hope for. It's sort of like the fire and dreams, except fire and dreams is about man's idea. These things, living in the breath, living in this contained space of good that's made by the Master, and you live by those accepted terms, you become part of what the Master has made reality. And if we live in that, take that information in, and then put it out, it's the finishing. Let me live in truth and light. Well, unfortunately, truth is not truth. Truth is what is truth to you. Reality is what's reality to you. That's why I like the sciences. That's why I like mathematics. It was fairly consistent. Humanity is not. But since the other stuff, the science and the mathematics, are not human, they're not, then we have to deal with humanity. We have to deal with the fragility of understanding, the fragility of where all these things come from, how all these things impact us. But if we do it one step at a time, and just step back and think about love, internalizing what's necessary for not just you, but for others around you, that way you look outside yourself. And all that stuff goes away. All that negative stuff goes away. When you help someone else, when you pull out this venom, it helps things go away. That's what I dealt with. It's not my opinion. It was my life. I can't tell you to do that. I can't tell you to back off. But from everything I've understood, forgiveness is the answer. We all must begin. When you look how, if you believe in God, He created humanity. And He actually, at one point, said, I repent. I turn back from doing this. Well, the ultimate thing that He did, actually, with cutting the pieces, was He forgave. He let go. He didn't go back on His promise. He showed mercy. He forgave. Forgiveness is the answer. We all must begin. That's a pong I'll do for you at some point. But what I understood is the key to moving forward and to having some good mental health and having having something positive is forgiveness. Forgiveness is the answer. We all must begin. I guess I have to do that poem now, just so I don't let that lay idle. But that's where we all have to forgive. We all have to forgive. We all have to let go. We have to be very discerning in how we have our dealings. and how we make commitments, and how we make covenants. But that's a human thing. That's something we can work through. So anyway, living in truth and light. Can we actually live in truth and light? Whose truth is truth? One man's truth is another man's lie. And one man's light is another man's, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Anyway, this Pong was about what my hopes were and what my outlook on humanity at some point, and how it will be resolved and made better. All these infirmities that we have at some point will be stripped away. But it's an interactive circumstance. It's not a video game. It's life. It's reality. You have to interact. You got to be part of it. You got to get in there and be involved. Push some levers. Push some buttons. Be involved. Look for forgiveness. You forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. And love follows. Even in the biblical narrative, do you realize that the concept of love and hate didn't even come in until way up in Genesis? Like in my 22nd chapter, I think, is where it started. It had to do with the Son, the giving of the Son. But until then, there wasn't anything of words about love or hate. It was just about doing things. It was about doing and pushing. Anyway, this is Rob with the Jonah Project. I hope we find truth and light. It's a very scarce thing, but it's precious. It can't be bought. It's more precious than gold. Just like humanity, just like love. It can't be bought. It can't be imagined. And once it's lost,